Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. Today's topic is going to be, we're just friends. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please subscribe, like, and share. So in life, and also in the narcissistic relationship, many times you hear these famous words, oh, we're just friends, no big thing. And what that means is when you, the individual watching the video, and again, thank you very much for being here. Let's say that you were in a romantic relationship, as an example, and things aren't quite right. And it turns out that the person you're with is a toxic individual / perhaps even a narcissist. Along the way of this relationship, post love bomb / euphoric stage, when you are in the devaluation stage, again, you don't know any of this information. And maybe right now, this is your first video watching narcissistic abuse channels, and if that's the case, God bless you. But when this situation is set up along the way in the devaluation stage, many times you will be suspicious. You'll be wondering, like, what's going on here? I don't think that this is a reciprocal two-way romantic relationship. Something's going on here, because all of a sudden your significant other, whoever it is, they are now talking with other individuals, and they are giving other individuals more attention than you. Now, this is meant on purpose. It's meant to be done on purpose. Again, remember, you are in the devaluation stage, which means you are being devalued. And that is how the narcissist wants you to feel. And that's where they want to place you post euphoric stage / love bomb stage, because they want you working for them while they are out working to get your replacement, hence the new supply. Now, many times you'll be suspicious, you'll be cautious, you'll be like, wait, like, why is this person texting my significant other at 12 o'clock at night? Like, that's abnormal or unusual. And then the response you get is, oh, we're just friends, no big thing. They had a work problem, everything's, it's no big deal. And then again, perhaps now that escalates to a phone call. Perhaps it escalates to a lunch meeting, if you get my point. Perhaps that escalates to a trip going somewhere, when in fact, example here, maybe your significant other is like, yeah, I'm just going to city XXX, whatever it is, at city A, B, C for the weekend, just going with, some friends. Do you see what I just said? Some friends. Think about that for a minute. Now, this video is meant to illustrate that when you hear the famous words, we're just friends, that in fact, maybe they are just friends. Who knows? I can't tell you. What I can tell you is, if you're hearing these words or similar words in a relationship frequently, that is a massive red flag. Why? I'll tell you why. Because if you're in a romantic relationship with an individual, it should be two people like this. One person here, one here, and you're 50-50 or 52-48 or 55-45, whatever. But it's not going to be like this, like the toxic / narcissist is way up here and you're down here fighting for breadcrumbs. And that's what happens in these narcissistic relationships. You're literally fighting for breadcrumbs. You're hoping to get a kind text or a gentle hug or a little sliver of a compliment, but you really don't get these things, do you? You get just a hint of these things, enough to keep you strung along longer while the narcissist is out looking for your replacement. And it's true. It's the way the cycle works. That's exactly how it is lined up to be. And the narcissist, remember, they won't change. All they're going to do is change the source or sources of supply that they are getting. And honestly, you are replaceable, whether you know it or not. You were replaceable and you are replaceable. Now, that is with a toxic narcissistic relationship. It's a fact, because every relationship with a narcissist has an expiration date. I mention that frequently on the channel, and it's a fact, because they're just waiting to extract as much of your resources as they possibly can, or until you wake up, or until they discard you, or until you put up a boundary. Any of these things can happen, and then boom, they're done, they're gone. And the mask slips, and you see the real person who you perhaps fell in love with, or perhaps you were in a romantic relationship with. They never cared about you then, they don't care about you now, and they never will care about you in the future and or any future sources of supply. Remember, the new supply, whoever they are, is an unsuspecting individual, most likely, that they don't know what's going on. They don't know this person is a narcissist, and they don't know they're about to be taken to the cleaners on many different levels, meaning their finances, their looks, their health, their social circle, their job possibly, their resources, perhaps even real estate they own, etc., things like that. That's what the narcissist wants. Remember, the narcissist jumps from person to person, business to business, relationship to relationship, leaving a wake of destruction in the past. They never, ever are accountable. They never introspect. They don't change. All they do is switch the mask from whatever it was that got you entrenched in the relationship, they switch it to another mask to get someone else's supply. So when you hear the famous words, "we're just friends," that screams red flags to me. It sounds the alarm bells. Why? Because let's just put it this way. If you're in a healthy romantic relationship with an individual, it should be two people in the relationship. And they should both be on the same path, headed in the same direction, working on the same goals, the same future, and doing equal parts of being compassionate and caring and kind and loving. That is the exact opposite of what a narcissistic relationship is. It's one person, which was you, working for the narcissist, insert any narcissist you want that you're thinking of, and you were giving to a fault. You were a people pleaser. You had no boundaries. You were a yes person. You couldn't say the word no. Now remember, if you ever did say no, what would happen? Probably a rage fit. And then why would that happen? That would happen because they would be grooming you. The narcissist would be grooming you so to not say the word no again, because you know what the consequences would be. Get my point? See, the whole time you're with the narcissist, it gets deeper and deeper. It's like you're in quicksand and you're going down further and further. And all these people that are standing around you as you're drowning in the quicksand, they're looking at you. And they're like, "What's going on with you? Like, are you okay? Is everything all right?" But they don't reach out and send you a branch to cling on to pull you out of the quicksand, because they don't know that you're having problems behind the scenes. They have no idea. More importantly, you don't know what's going on, because when you're in this relationship and perhaps you're being abused, gaslighting, triangulation, smear campaign, etc., you don't know what's going on. You think you're in a kind, loving, healthy relationship with an individual, but you're in that quicksand and you're going down further and further and further. And you don't know how to scream out for help. You don't know to say, "Hey, somebody give me a stick and get me out of this thing." You don't know, because you don't know what narcissism is. You never were taught this in school. That's why you're watching channels like mine and many others. And again, thank you very much for being here and getting the education, becoming awakened and aware, and understanding that you are the priority, that you come first, second, and third. But the famous words, "we're just friends," that is a huge red flag. Go back in time and think about when you were in the relationship. How many times perhaps you discovered information about the narcissist? Maybe it was on their smartphone. Maybe it was something you wrote down. Maybe it was some whispers you heard from common friends. Maybe it was a bill that you saw. Or maybe it was them flat out just coming home later and later and later. Eventually to come home maybe after the weekend, meaning they would take a day or two, they'd disappear. "Hey, where were you? What were you doing?" "Oh, I was with so-and-so. We're just friends." Like, really? Like, we're supposed to be together. What's going on here? These are all things that I am certain you experienced if you were in a romantic relationship with a narcissist or a toxic individual. And it's not until you get the education. In other words, it's not until the relationship has ended. Perhaps it took you to be discarded. You were discarded. Or perhaps you ended it yourself and then you typed in the browser, "spouse won't talk to me," or "what's going on here," or silent treatment, or all of these things. And then lo and behold, boom, the word narcissist pops up. And then you read one paragraph of what somebody wrote and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this sounds exactly like, oh my gosh, I'm in this." That's when you get the light bulb moment. That's when you begin on the healing path. And that's when you can now get that branch, because you're in quicksand drowning. Remember, you can ask people around you, "Hey, throw me a branch, get me out of here." That doesn't mean they're going to save you, literally. It means they can help you on the path. You're going to have to save yourself. I mean, they can pull you out of the quicksand. Maybe not the best example, but the point is you're going to have to actually do the hard work and heal. And in your time, you will heal. It's going to take a mountain of work, though. You're going to have to be committed, dedicated, devoted. You're going to have to be courageous. You're going to have to learn how to have boundaries, etc. That's not for this video. My point for this video, though, is we're just friends. Really think about it. Like, forget the narcissistic relationship for a minute. Let's say any romantic relationship. And you heard that with your significant other. And if you have to ask who the person is and you don't already know, pretty much that's a red flag, honestly. Because your significant other should be introducing you to people so you feel comfortable, so you don't have to question yourself. Now, of course, new relationships are always built, and specifically in the workplace and things like that. You're always going to be meeting new individuals and striking up friendships. But the thing is, if these friendships turn into more than friendships, and many times they do, unfortunately they do, and you have to ask questions like, "Who is this? Who's texting you?" Or "What car was that? Who just dropped you off?" Or "Why are you 3 hours late? You got out of work at 4. It's now 7:30. What's going on here?" Like, things like that. These are huge red flags. And when you were in the narcissistic relationship, you ignored these. You thought something was wrong. You thought something was amiss, but you couldn't place your finger on it. And what happened? Because you were in the narcissistic fog, you just made excuses. Okay, whatever. Just hopefully it doesn't happen again. And you tolerated it. The more you tolerated it, the more it was being done to you. The more it was being done to you, the less you were feeling like yourself, and the more you were isolated, and the more you were being invalidated. And the more that happened, the more you lost your resources, because you were always trying to claw your way back to get back to that love bomb / euphoric stage. Of course, now we know that doesn't happen. It really doesn't happen. The narcissist just gets worse with age, hence the aging narcissist. They don't change. All they do is fine-tune their skills of manipulation, deceit, destruction, and hopefully move on to another individual. That's not me saying hopefully, meaning they themselves are hoping to find another grade A source of supply, which is exactly what you were, or perhaps you still are. So understand this. There are so many things. The narcissist really gives themselves away in the narcissistic relationship. They sincerely do. There's a huge difference, though. The difference is if you have the wisdom and the education and you have the experience under your belt and you can identify what's going on when you're in the relationship, that means you're way ahead of the game or the situation. But when you don't have the wisdom or the education or the insight and you're in it and you're working hard for the narcissist, you just think you're hitting a rough patch, it's gonna get better. Of course, it never does. That's exactly how the narcissistic relationship works. Remember, they are using smoke and mirrors to manipulate you until you get discarded or until you wake up and wise up. And when you do, that's when you have to devote all your dedication and energy into yourself to becoming the best version of yourself. And what's the narcissist doing? They're glomming onto another unsuspecting source of supply, just looking to take more and more resources. That's exactly what they do. Guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great evening. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware and understand you are the priority. And we're just friends. You know, I said it like that many times. The narcissist can always say it like this. We're just friends, like kind of intimidating and a little raising your voice. That's another way. That's meant to have you back down like, oh, well, okay, you're friends. All right, no big deal. See what I'm saying? It's all about control with the narcissist. And it's so crystal clear when you actually come out of the fog and you understand how they work and what they do. It's so childlike, but that's how they are. And it's not until you get the education that you can actually put these things together. Guys, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. God bless you. Have a great evening. I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right, good night, guys. Bye.